everybody, and welcome to MangaPod. We're a weekly podcast in which we all get together after we read all or part of a manga, and then we discuss with friendship, love, and lots of spoilers. This week we are talking Beastars. Beastars, I think is how you actually pronounce it, though there's a lot of bays in this manga.
There are.
We're talking chapters 43 through 83. I am Erin, a happily Erin, your host, and with me is one of my lovely co-hosts, as well as a very special guest. Lou is not here this week, but we have our lovely America, so we're going to everybody go around and introduce themselves, please.
Hello, I'm Dodger, and yeah, I liked Beastars the first time. I'm excited to talk about it a second time. That's it. That's all I got.
Moeka.
Hello, I'm Moeka. I also really enjoyed it when we first read this manga. I love it dearly. I'm still kind of bitter that it got second place while Neverland got first place back then in the polls.
Oh,
But,
yeah. Yeah.
yeah, they did a poll for the manga, and Promised Neverland got first place, and Beastars got second place.
Oh,
but at least it got second. Like, it's weird enough that I'm actually shocked it even got second.
Yeah.
No, me too.
But I'm glad. It's great.
Yeah, I'm really glad. Both are great series, but I think I prefer Beastars a little more.
Mm-hmm.
But all things considered, I love my deer boy and my wolf boy.
I know. I was not here for the first Beastars manga pod. And so I read all 83 chapters the last few days, and I still didn't know what to expect going into this, and I was just like, it's so weird. It's so weird. I didn't expect it to be so weird, but I've loved the characters so much, and I got so into it. I was like, okay, it went by real quick after you get like real into it. So yeah, I'm liking it. If you've never joined us for MangaPod before, what we like to do is give you a short spoiler-free description of the manga that we read, aka summary. Lovely Moeka will be doing that. And then we'll give you our spoiler-free recommendations if we want to add anything onto what we just said. Spoiler-free recommendations are where we will give you our no spoiler review of it, kind of, and that way if it sounds like a manga you're interested in, you can go ahead and take your leave once we get to spoiler section, read it, come back and watch the VOD of this later. The first one is already up on my YouTube channel if you wanted to go and check that out. We do ask that nobody in chat post any spoilers for anything until we get to spoiler section, and once we're in spoiler section, please don't post any spoilers past chapter 83. We do not know. I don't think any of us have read past chapter 83.
No.
Okay.
No.
So we will not know if you're posting a fake spoiler or not. So just don't do it. Don't risk it. We'll do warning, timeout, all that not so fun stuff. So let's go ahead and do our spoiler-free recommendation, Moeka, if you don't mind.
Okay, so I definitely do recommend this manga. Like, look, they're so... I'm getting so flustered because it's just so good, and I'm just like, how do I sell this to people? Look, people are gonna call you a furry, and that's okay. Okay? Let me tell you, you're gonna fall in love with Lugosi, and you're gonna fall in love with my boy Louis. Louis. Just, yeah, it's just so good. The way it starts off really slice of lifey, but look, the mystery gets thick later on, and it's so good. Just check it out.
It's super good.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. And I think what Erin said about starting it off and being like, this is way weirder than I expected, every single one of us said that, and all of us, it didn't take very long for us to go, oh wait, but it's like, it's weird but also excellent.
And then it makes you question.
Yeah, it's fine. The way that they build characters and the way that they establish like the world. There are other manga and anime that have done something similar to this before, but I would say Beastars 100% does it the best. Mm-hmm. And it's really, really well done. Yeah. Definitely a big maturity rating on this one.
Yeah.
But yeah, just so interesting, so fascinating, all of the characters and the world that they're in. Yeah, it's great.
And just the writing in it is really well done. The world building, the characters, everything is just so great. And the art is very unique too. Like you get that idea from like the cover images and things like that, but once you're reading it, it's just way different than what you're expecting, but it also fits the tone of the story just so well. It's really good. So, Moeka, do you mind reading the description for us?
No, I can. The synopsis.
Yeah.
Okay.
The snips.
Snip. Okay. In a world populated by anthropomorphic animals, herbivores and carnivores coexist with each other. For the can I read? I do this every time. For the adult, I can't read this. Dude, I've had a long day working, so I miss saying words here. Okay,
I love
know
it.
I'm saying it wrong.
You are among friends. Don't worry.
Oh, thank you.
You are among friends.
For the adolescents of Cherryton Academy, school life is filled with hope, romance, distrust, and uneasiness. The main character is Lugosi, the wolf, a member of the drama club. Despite his menacing appearance, he has a very gentle heart. Throughout most of his life, he has been an object of fear and hatred by other animals, and he's been quite accustomed to that lifestyle. But soon, he finds himself becoming more involved with his fellow classmates who have their own share of insecurities, and finds his life in school changing slowly.
Yes. Perfect. Thank you so much. So we are going to jump into spoiler section. If this sounds like a manga, you are interested in reading it, and obviously we all recommend that you do, and you do not want to be spoiled on it, which we also all recommend that you do not be spoiled on. Now's the team. See, you're among friends. Team, the team to take your leave, and then you can come back and watch about this later. It's definitely one you don't want to be spoiled on. It's so good. We're gonna go ahead and jump into spoiler section. So now's the time for da-da-da-da.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I don't know.
Louis is God?
Louis?
I don't know.
I know. Louis, he kind of has ascended to God.
He has.
I'm trying to remember. What was for you guys, like, what was the beginning of what you read that was new?
It was immediately after he saved Bunny Girl from the Shishigumi.
Oh, okay. So we got a lot of things
immediately
together.
After that, when they went to like the hotel and all of that.
Okay, cool. Oh, so we got to experience a lot of surprises together. Then,
yeah. But I think because Moeka and I have already done this. But Aaron, what were your first impressions upon reading this manga?
I was like, this is so weird. Like, it was just like, this is so weird. Those
what
were
your
like
expectations. Did you expect it to be weird?
Like, everybody said that it was weird, but most people were just like, that manga's crazy. That's what you hear. And like it's not what you're expecting it to be. And it 100% was not what I was expecting it to be, even going into being like, I have a vague kind of idea about what this is. But as the story goes and develops, it starts out like Moeka said, slice of lifey. And it does not prepare you for how like intense it gets and how dark it gets and all of these things that happen and how sexual it is and all this. Like, you feel like it's just going to be a standard high school like manga just with animals, and it's not.
With, like, carnivores and herbivores and
like,
there's a murder mystery and
but like anime murder mystery where you don't expect it to be a horror, and it does like do the horror and the like evil, all of this stuff that's going into it, just darkness, like real darkness. It doesn't shy away from doing anything like that, and it's not quite, Asano, like it's not quite that weird, but there's definitely elements that I think could be compared to like Poon Poon or any like other, Asano stuff that you're not expecting when you're going into a manga about aminals together.
Yeah.
That you're like,
because,
oh, Zootopia. And it's not. It's Zootopia with Ino Asano influence.
Yeah, I honestly, I think Asano is like a really good comparison because Asano, a lot of the like horror and suspense that comes from Ino Asano's stuff is entirely based in like the darkness of people. And this is entirely based in like really developing these characters that have animalistic instincts, and like if they were living in a society that's like ours, what kind of twisted aspects would we see in people? And yeah, I think it's done so well. Like the sort of the scary aspects are like characters that can't control themselves, right? Or like the Beastars version of a serial killer, right? Or like it's just fascinating.
And like the line between loving and wanting to like devour, like what's the line between friendship, like the attraction line? Is it attraction because of like a friendship or something like that, or is it attraction because one of them is a carnivore and one of them is an herbivore, and they like naturally there's that danger there?
Yeah.
And so that's like a very weird balance I did not expect to be interested in exploring.
Yeah, I like how often, even in everything that we've read so far, there have been so many moments with Lugosi where he's had to sit by himself and be like, do I love her or this other option, right? Like there's the whole, do I love her or do I love, like, do I want to eat her? Like,
do I want to eat her? I was like, you don't need to beat around the bush with it. It's like, do I want to eat her?
And then like later on it's, do I love her or do I kind of like, am I putting herbivores on a pedestal and I want to protect her? Like I care about her, but really as like her knight, right? And not necessarily her lover. Like he has to question this shit constantly because in like a society aspect of this world and how it's built, everybody's like, a bunny?
Yes.
And he's like, I don't know. And they're like, you sure? He's like, I don't know.
And like sometimes they'll use it as an insult too, where they're like, you're just this virgin in love with a bunny of all things.
Yeah.
And so it's just like very weird dynamic, that is happening. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so we so you guys left off on right after that she got rescued. And so after that a whole lot of stuff happens. The first I think we should all touch on is precious little Louis. Is it Louis or Louis? What do you guys say?
I say Louis in my head.
I say Louis.
Yeah, I say Louis. I knew he didn't die. So like he kills the mafia boss, the lion head. Then all of the other lions come in and are like, oh, where's the boss? You did it. Then he does his whole like, I'm gonna kill myself thing. And so you obviously know he's not dead because his death isn't shown. But I didn't expect him to become the head of this like lion mafia group. Yeah. Oh
the
my
other
God.
thing is I did not expect them to like explain how that happened so quickly. I thought that it was gonna just be, he's the head of all of these tigers and lions and shit now. And I thought they were gonna just like let that hang in the air and have us be like, what is going on with Louis for a while? But they actually like we had lots of Louis chapters that kind of showed us what was going on with him. Yeah.
And the fact that he's going all cannibalism, like he's eating meat. But I love the fact that they're showing both sides of him, how he isn't just like completely changed. Like he's still affected by Lugosi when he sees him. He kind of like reverts back to his high school self, who he was when he's with Lugosi. And then like the fact that he is trying to eat meat and holds up the persona in front of the lion group, and then immediately gets sick, like when he goes out.
His assistant is like, please eat a salad.
I like that he's like, I'm surviving on energy drinks. And I was like, understand. Please eat a salad. I think what's interesting about him is like, I obviously And I think a lot of people didn't see him suddenly going from like the star actor into the role of a mafia boss. But there's something very foreshadowing about his whole thing where he gets injured and he's acting so well. Like that foreshadows the mafia thing in a really well done way. Like it's not happening until you look back on it. You're like, oh, it makes sense for his character to be in this position. Just thinking back on when he was injured and in the play and how well he was hiding it and how he didn't want to be pitied and all of that. Like, it's just very well done foreshadowing, I thought, with it.
For sure.
He's such a little, I love him. I like him all, like, I don't know. He's such a I expected to hate his guts.
Louis?
And yeah, from the start. Yeah. And then he just became he has such soft moments when he's with Lugosi and with Haru.
Really well fleshed out.
Yeah, I expected to hate. Look, I expected to hate him too, and then it was like, oh no,
oh no, he's my boyfriend.
He's my husband.
It seriously has you questioning yourself sometimes, where you're like,
it does. I'm like, I swear to God, and I was trying to sell this to my friend, and I was like, look, I swear to God, I'm not a furry, but this manga will make you question yourself at times. But I promise, it's great.
Well, I was like thinking about that as I was reading it. I was like, so much is like so sexual, even if it's not outright sexual, like it's just talking about like puberty and just things like that. It's a good like analogy to it, but there's just so much with the way the like characters, I don't know, it's not even like intense sexual, it's just like platonic, even things just like the line is blurred there where they like hold hands or they're very close to each other and all of this stuff, and you're just like, wait, where is this going at some parts where they're like touching each other or looking at it, like it's just trying to read what the relationship is. Like all the relationships have so many layers to them too.
Yeah, they do a really good job of creating a situation where pretty much any time, like specifically because it's so prevalent, but like Lugosi and Bunny Girl, I can't remember her name, fuck.
Haru,
thank you.
Haru! Oh, Cry. Cry is rating our weeb shit.
My gosh. Yeah!
Hi! Thank you for the raid, bud.
Thanks.
Hey, everybody, welcome. We're talking about a furry manga.
That's making us question whether we're furries or not. Welcome.
Yeah. So they do a really good job of creating situations where anytime Lugosi and Haru are like having an intimate moment, you're like, this feels sinister.
Yes.
It's not that they're both like such pure, like sweet, like pure in different ways, right? But they're both just like sweet characters and their relationship is very sweet overall. But there's been like just enough of a touch of like, but he could eat her though.
Yeah.
There's enough of that anytime they get close to each other, I'm like
his claws.
It's weird.
His claws are huge.
His hands are so big. Yeah.
And I like that they have touched on that where they're like, how would a giant gray wolf and a teeny little bunny have sex? Like they touch on that. Like they're bringing up.
They literally had a conversation about it on the roof where all of the other carnivores are like, wait, so you boned the bunny, right? Like what was that like? She's very small. And he was like, I have enough pure, wonderful memories of that night that I can be a virgin forever and be happy. And everyone was like, didn't bang the bunny. Got it.
Okay, yeah. And then he's like, oh no, I messed up. I was supposed to say I did.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, welcome. Welcome, Rain.
Yeah, hey, what's up?
So one moment, there's a lot of times like they do really well where they'll just all of a sudden have a moment where you're like, oh shit, what just happened? And I think one of the biggest ones in this reading was when they're practicing, the drama club is practicing, and Lugosi is just looking at the script or the light or something, and there's the characters in the background playing, and then the leopard just rips off the anteater's arm. Like that whole panel, I literally out loud, I said, what the fuck? I was was like, what just happened with it? I don't know why that just stood out to me as like really crazy. I don't know if it's because it just suddenly honed in on the reality of like a different side of if a carnivore and an herbivore were just playing and messing around. Like, of course, a carnivore would lose sight of how strong they are.
Sure, yeah.
And to have it be that happens so often that they've figured out how to reconnect limbs because it's so like it's so normal and it happens so often. I don't know if it just really drove in the fact that there's a very clear difference between carnivore and herbivores.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
And the same thing is like reiterated with Tem and the bear too.
Mm-hmm. I loved Tem.
I know.
Everybody was like, fuck this guy. And I was like, oh, yes, finally a character like this where everybody's like, yo, I fucking hate this dude. I was like, good, yes. It's like the Monoma of fucking Beastars. Like, this guy.
This one. Yeah, what did you guys think about the killer being revealed, the murderer?
This manga, like, I don't know what, like, the pacing is just, I don't expect what the manga artist decides. So yeah, it was just like, I didn't see it coming that quickly, and so it just, like, threw me off, and I was like, wait, what?
Yeah. Yeah, it was one of those things I was like, I didn't expect this to happen so quickly.
So fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, like, well, we like, didn't talk about it for a really long, right? It felt like...
You forgot about it.
The murder happened at the very beginning, right? And then we had all of this, like, coming-of-age bullshit that was great. But, like, you know, then suddenly they were like, hey, by the way, remember there was some murder on school grounds?
Yeah.
And yeah, suddenly we were kind of at breakneck again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the whole background of how it happened was so sad. Like, I thought it was really tragic, personally. I thought it, just because it's another, they constantly bring up, like we've talked about, they bring up, like, can a carnivore and a herbivore be friends or more than that? Like, what is it? And having the bear suddenly, like, be so happy to the point where they're like, I believe that I can be friends without this. Like, I believe in our friendship. We're best friends. And then the next panel, he's eating him.
Yeah.
It's just, thought it was so sad. Because you feel so bad for the bear, but then the bear is also kind of like, at this point, kind of a little off. But now Lugosi is like, I want to understand him. Understand what it's like to take a life and have that life become part of you. And so he eats the bugs.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even from before this section of reading, the section when they go to the black market and, like, eat the finger and stuff, like, it starts the foreshadowing of once you taste meat, does something about you change? You know? And I think that it's interesting that now we're touching on, like, could it really change you though? Like, could you go from being somebody who is always very gentle to someone who isn't, like, not even just craving meat, but just, like, losing some of the gentleness inside of you?
Or like who they were before that. And we're seeing, like, Bill, the tiger, he hasn't really changed too much. Like, he did eat the meat, but he, at this point, hasn't changed really from who he was before. And so I'm interested to see if they come back to him and they do something with him. But there's also just been so much with other characters showing it. And that's, I think, why Lugosi is such a vital center main character. Because he is that embodiment of, like, the carnivore trying not to lose that part of himself. And I don't know if that's, like, why he's still a virgin, if it's, like, an analogy for that or something.
Right.
But
wait, Sorry, no.
No, you go on. No, you go on.
I was gonna say, how'd you guys feel about the snake? Specifically when we first met the snake.
Where did he come from? And where did he go?
Like, what? Oh, bye, Sherlock. Like, why did we have this whole scene where he literally, like, constricts him and is like, his body. Yes. Yes, I like
he's
it.
So good. Big sexy.
What a good body. I was like, where is this going? And then he's like, by the way, I'm the school security. I was like, what? Okay.
If I have like a big critique of this manga is that sometimes there will be throwaway chapters or what kind of feel like more like filler chapters.
Sure.
Just suddenly in the middle of something where I'm like, what? Like where? Like but the snake one was important in that he's like, you need to find the murderer. But it was like, where did he go?
It felt like a catalyst chapter more than anything. It was like, we need something to make Lugosi start looking into this because right now he's not.
Yeah.
And like, and so it was like, here's a chapter with a weird snake that everybody thinks is a ghost.
He's like, I've been trailing you for a long time. And it's like, where are you?
That made me want to go back to other chapters. Because he was like, I saw you do this and I saw you do this. And I was like, what if?
He's there.
What if you can find the snake in the back? Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good point.
Oh, yeah, that is a really good point.
I want to know if you can find him.
Where's
Waldo style?
It's just always there.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Shoot, I was thinking it was the snake caught me off guard. The goat. I think that's who you thought I was talking about earlier. Pina, the goat.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like just suddenly there. He's a character. The goat.
Is that who I'm thinking of?
Yeah,
like the really flamboyant.
Yeah. Tem is
everybody's like,
dude that got murdered.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
Yeah, they're both. It's a goat and an alpaca. Alpaca. That's how I pronounced it earlier today. And David's like,
just commit. That's the way that it's pronounced now.
Alpaca.
Yeah.
So Pina the goat, who's the only other one to find out that who the murderer is. I just want to know where he's going. Like what his character in the long run is doing and will be. Because as of right now, he's got a personality. Like he has this personality and he is part of it, but he hasn't really had much of a presence other than being involved randomly with like the murder side of things. And also just talking constantly about how many girls he fucks. Like that's the other part of his personality. So I'm very interested to find out what his end game is, like what is gonna happen. Like it'd be interesting if he like somehow got involved with like no, that won't happen. Never mind.
I mean,
I'm not gonna finish that thought. A lot of stupid.
A lot of the characters that become prevalent wind up being some kind of a metaphor, right? For like things that are in human society somehow. Mm-hmm. So there might be something going on with him.
Yeah. And
I guess we'll just like see. But yeah.
Man, I hope you don't die.
I mean, me too.
Mm-hmm. You don't like him.
I do. I love him.
Oh, okay.
It's the opposite. I love him. I want him to live.
Is there any character you would want to see die? I don't know why it's a really morbid question for this manga, but
who would I like to see die?
Oh man, I hope the Louis' assistant doesn't die. The assistant lion. Like of all the characters, like he's in a very odd position.
No, you know what would be.
He went for one of his buds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Also, sorry, but you know what would be like really tragic if Jack died.
No!
Say that.
No!
I actually thought, like, man, what if Jack dies? I would be so sad.
I'd be so upset.
He's such a good boy.
I feel like, but that would be such a good, like, like, would this break Lugosi
Yeah.
moment? Because
Yeah.
that's literally his best friend in the world.
They can't do
and
that
he's so
to him.
good. I hope not. He's too good. Please,
He's been through.
please, God.
Lugosi's been through enough. Jack's a good boy.
Yeah. Like, we've already seen... Oh, man, now that you say that, I'm like, there's been so many flashbacks to why Jack, like, why he's such
Why
a
they're
good
best
friend
friends.
and why they're best friends. And he always gives insight into Lugosi, is always there to support him. Like, what? Okay, what other species do you think Lugosi is? Did they actually say what he is? Wait, did I... The chapter when they're talking about his grandpa, did I read it wrong?
I don't know. Did I read it wrong?
No, because he says that because they're doing, Jack's like the whole thing that he knows about Lugosi that other people don't know, and that it's that Lugosi is not full gray, full wolf.
I must have missed
He's
that.
full something, or he's half and half of something else. They do say it, and you find out later on. All right, cool. I'm not crazy. I didn't read something wrong. So you find out. Okay, no spoilers for it at all.
Yeah,
He's
because
part giraffe. Everybody buckle up.
Well, because
Oh my
I
God.
don't think that into what the secret was.
Yeah, the secret is that he's half wolf, half something else. But they don't say.
Well,
yeah.
I guess I
Maybe
missed
it's an
that he was.
herbivore.
Yeah. No, yeah, I missed that he was half something. I just know that they talked about what his secret was, which was he like retained all the tastes and smells or whatever.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I do love the fact that his first kiss is him Frenching the bear.
Yeah.
Oh.
And it being
loved
like, I
how he
had
was
to
like,
do it, but I hated it.
Yeah.
I
I
wish
love
I
how
had
he's
kissed
like-
Haru instead.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, I don't want Jack to die. No, that's all I can think about.
No, I'm sorry.
Chat agrees. Chat agrees.
They're literally all capsing. No, Jack.
Not the good boy. Not Jack.
What do you guys think about Haru? We didn't get a whole lot of her in the
We didn't see a ton of Haru.
Yeah. Like her, it's not like she had a full arc in like the first one. It's just, I think she set off a bunch, like her arc in the first half, like set off all this, like was the catalyst for all this other stuff to happen later on. But she would just like suddenly appear. I was like, where is she? Do Lugosi and her like talk at all? And then she would appear and be like, Lugosi, why you not talking to me?
Yeah.
And so it's like, what is there really?
Well, they're still
they're in a weird
that's-
stage.
That's one of the things that I do find kind of annoying about the story, even though it is very high school. But like, how often their conversations are just like, "Are we dating? Are we not dating?
Yeah.
Are we dating? Are we not dating? Do you like me? You do like me, but we're not dating. Are we dating?" Just like, oh my god.
Babies.
Yeah, they're sweet babies, but
Yeah, she doesn't have too much going on. We have the other wolf,
Luna.
Yeah, I think
Luna?
Juna.
Juno.
No, the
Jula?
girl wolf?
Yeah.
Juno.
Juno.
Okay. We got there.
We're there. Good little combination of names we had going there, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Juno is another one who her entire story feels extremely high school. Like, yeah.
So she didn't get. I do like that her and Haru were hanging out as friends. Like, we're hanging out. I love that. That, like, even though there's that high school jealousy on Juno's part, the fact that she hung out with her and was, like, willing to be talking with her and seeing her was very refreshing for a high school drama side of things. That, because I don't like it when they just, like, pit the girls against each other, when it's like they could totally be friends instead. And they were friends, and I was like, yes!
Yeah,
What I
absolutely.
Yeah, we just got a lot of Lugosi in this. This was huge Lugosi, like, development with the
For
whole
sure.
the panda
Doing
and
the
stuff.
training and all that shit.
Yeah. What did you think about his training and the fucking moth scene?
Oh.
The moth scene was so off-putting.
I liked him just sitting in an ice room with meat.
Yeah. And then he's like stroking the meat, and then they take him to a beach, and he's like, I've buried every single one of them, and they have names, and I found out their names, and I'm like, oh, Legosi.
Oh,
Sweet boy.
child.
Yeah, I liked his conversation, like, before that. I liked his conversation with the panda, where the panda was like, if you want to get strong, you're gonna have to eat meat. And Legosi's like, I think that's real hypocritical, considering I'm trying to get strong to help herbivores if I'm eating herbivores.
Yes.
Yeah.
And how his jaw gets weaker. That was another interesting point. I thought that they made sure to hone in that his jaw is so much weaker now. Because of the little tug of war. I like that they were like, we don't play that game in front of herbivores. What a bizarre, such bizarre rules all of a sudden. Yeah. Should we talk about art?
Sure.
What are you guys' feelings on the art this time around?
I'm trying to remember if the art has changed at all. It doesn't feel like it has changed much. I really like it.
It got a lot cleaner.
Okay.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
it got a lot cleaner
And a lot more
For sure.
detail in the backgrounds and stuff for it. Yeah. Like, I noticed that as I was reading, the beginning feels a little bit more, like, sketchy. And it's not bad at all. But then as the series goes on, it gets a little bit more, I don't want to say digital-y, but you can just kind of tell that it's gotten more honed in on the style.
Right.
And there's a lot more detailed backgrounds, and characters are more detailed. Like, there's a lot more stuff happening in each panel too. And so I think the mangaka's understanding of how to show emotion and storytelling utilizing panels got a lot stronger too as the series goes on. I still love the cover photos a lot. Like the cover images, like they're always so great. Sorry, Meg. Okay,
No,
go ahead.
I think what makes it a lot cleaner later on is that the manga artist starts using more screen tones and less watercolor.
Yeah.
But I think the way that they went about it was really good though, because it didn't feel jarring. I never like sat down and was like, wow, the style's definitely changed and it's like throwing me off. I never felt that.
Yeah, not at all. And I think that the like watercolor kind of style worked for it too in the beginning. And so I don't think it's completely lost that. Like the style is very similar still. But I would say it's definitely been like a gradual change, like getting cleaner.
Yeah, which makes me wonder if the watercolor style at the beginning was kind of to kind of represent like the characters are like all new to these feelings, and then as the story progresses they're learning more about themselves, so the style kind of cleans up a little bit more.
Oh, yeah. That could make sense too. I think there's also a lot more action scenes that happen later on as well.
For sure.
And so they kind of learned more about anatomy and too, because they had to figure out how to make those interesting. I'm looking at the mangaka's Twitter account, and Moeka, it looks like you already follow her. But oh my gosh, the fact that every time she's interviewed or anywhere, she has a giant chicken head on.
It's so good.
It's amazing.
It's so good. It's amazing.
Oh
it's like
my
Yoko
gosh.
Taro, but the fact that it's like a chicken head just it elevates it.
It's so good. I love it. But yeah, so the art definitely I think improves, but it doesn't lose the style of it. Though big question, this is very important. Do you guys prefer Legosi with short hair or long hair?
I thought it was very refreshing to see him with short hair.
Yeah.
But I think I
Yeah,
prefer him with long hair.
Me too.
Yeah.
Look, not
You're having like an existential crisis over Lugosi's hair.
not to get horny on me, but the long hair is a good look. Something to grip onto. I'm just saying. Please don't die. I'm sorry.
This is why Moeka didn't want to use Cam. She didn't trust herself.
Yeah. I'm not wrong.
I'm not wrong.
Oh my god.
Oh, I love
But-
you. I'm so happy right now.
Sometimes
Amazing.
you have moments in life that make you question yourself, and sometimes you just gotta sit down and be like, I need to own this. It's gonna happen.
For sure. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, amazing. Do you guys have any other thoughts or anything you would like to bring up? I'm trying to think of, we touched on pretty much I do like that when Lugosi and Louis met up again in the black market. The whole scene with Lugosi hugging him and his tail going crazy.
I know.
And then being like, why is your tail wagging? You weirdo, why is your tail going? Leave boss alone.
He wears his heart on his shoulder.
It's so sweet. And then Louis is like,
Precious.
Louis goes, stop hugging me. And then Lugosi's tail just like droops.
Yeah.
It's like just so cute.
Yeah.
So cute. I just wanted to make sure everybody knew that I loved that part. Lugosi's
It's a good
tail.
part.
Good.
There was a panel that I really wanted to take a screen cap of because I knew I wouldn't be able to remember it properly. But really early on when all of the carnivore or all of his roommates are like, we have to keep his secret. We have to be the secret cherry boys or whatever it was. It was really funny. There was like a little panel that was like the secret cherry boys with all of their snouts. And I thought it was so fucking funny.
Secret cherry boys.
Yeah.
He's got such a good little posse behind him. Yeah, so many
they
people
can't kill
love him.
Jack.
Oh, I
They have
know.
so many other ones to replace him, though. It's fine.
No.
I don't like this.
So mad. All right.
Oh yeah. Sorry. No, there
No,
was
go
one
ahead.
scene where Lugosi and Haru were talking, and it was like when they were going, they were doing that back and forth of, "Oh, I like you, but we're not dating, or are we?"
Mhm.
At some point, Lugosi's like, "Yeah, I don't know if I like you that way," and then he's like, "But I do care for you. Let's get married. Will you marry me, Haru?" I lost it. I was like, "Hell no!" I won't allow it.
Well, then also later on when they're talking again and she goes, I've missed you. Also, I love Louis. I also miss Louis or something like that where she just
Yeah.
suddenly brings him up and he's just like,
they're both a fucking mess.
they're
Yeah.
just little high school babes, you realize again, even though there's a lot of stuff happening around them. And that's something that like, it feels like the characters are really mature and then they add in the high school stuff to remind us that they're not that
Right.
like they're not supposed to be that mature. Like that's something where it's like you sometimes get a little mixed up about like where is that
That's some hella thunder.
it's
My
to
bad.
you.
Over my head.
It's to you. Yeah, that's what
Dude,
that was here like
God
half an
heard
hour
me
ago.
be pissed about Lugosi wanting to marry Haru, and here we are.
Oh, amazing. All right, should we wrap up and give final thoughts and ratings? Or you guys have anything else you'd like to bring up?
I can't think of anything else, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I think we touched on everything.
Yeah, we talked about pretty much everything, I think. Do you guys remember what you rated it last time?
No, I think I gave it a pretty high rating. I think I gave it an 8 or something.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think I give it an 8.
Yeah. That's pretty... Do you guys think you're... Oh, here. I'll let you guys give your score instead of just... pulling it from you.
I'm not totally sure what I gave it last time. I would probably give it like an 8.5 or 9 now. Because it's continued to be good. The characters have continued to be good. There are moments in it that feel so like this is a CW show.
Is this Riverdale?
Yeah, this is Riverdale.
Oh my
and everybody
God.
is like not seeing the forest through the trees, right? Or whatever that phrase is.
Forest through the trees.
Yeah, you know, the forest for the trees or something like that. It's, you fucking know what I'm talking about. They're not seeing the big picture. But
yeah, that is the one. There's a song about it. Sorry.
That's right. Mom brain coming in hot. Yeah, I do really enjoy it. And it blows by, honestly. Like I read it so fast. So I'm excited for the anime and everything. But yeah, there's still a couple of things that draw it back for me, but not by much.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do a 9. Because like I said, I read all 83 chapters in the last like 2 days. And it goes by real quick once you get past the first little hump. It goes so fast. You just get so engaged, not just by the world building, but more importantly by the characters and the relationships, because they're all just so layered and developed and fascinating, because you don't always understand or know where characters are going or where their relationship is going. And it just makes you genuinely feel things for the characters, like just so much emotion and so much connection to them. Oh, I'm real big now. I don't know what happened to everybody else's cameras, but I'm real big. What happened? Hold on.
Maybe maybe can't hear you.
You're muted. You're muted. Oh no. Did I mute you?
Hello?
There you are.
Hey.
Okay, hi. My Discord crashed.
Oh no.
Anyway, continue.
Hey, we made it an hour in. We're good. We're good. Yeah, no, I give it a 9. I really love it. I love where it's all going and everything. So I am so excited to read more. It was hard to stop it. I have so many ships. There's so much sexual tension between everybody. Just so much. I don't really want to go find fanfic or fan art though. I don't know. I feel off about doing it. I'm scared to trep into that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
They can't really have any like Omegaverse stuff. I mean, they can. It's kind of an Omegaverse itself in the beginning, but I'm scared.
I feel like it'd be weird. Yeah, it'd be weird if it wasn't done by the manga artist, because I feel like they just have such a good understanding of what they want or like how they want to present this. Yeah. And I feel like other people would make it like too fetishy, I guess.
Yeah.
It would be really weird.
That's a good point, that it's not like fetishy. That's a really good point.
That's what threw me off, because that's when I first and I didn't talk about this last time, but yeah, when I first heard about this and I was like, let me look a little bit into it. I was thinking, this is gonna be like really fetish. There's gonna be a lot of fetish stuff, and then I was happily surprised that no, it wasn't. Like, they did touch on some sexual things here and there, but it wasn't like a fetish thing. Thank God.
Yeah. What would you rate it, Moeka?
Yeah, I think I would definitely rate it a 9. It just continues to like, I don't know. It gives me everything that I want. Like, the story's good. I've never felt like pace-wise that I was like, oh, this is really dragging.
Yeah,
and so
same.
Definitely 9.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, that wraps up our discussion of Beastars. We all highly recommend that you go and check it out. Definitely. We're going to go ahead. I am going to go ahead in a matter of seconds.
Yes.
I am going to go ahead and read the description for the manga that we are reading next week. Oh no, it's a long one.
Oh wait. Before we keep going, yeah. So this Beastars is getting an anime adaptation. In case you don't know, it's done by Studio Orange, who has done Land of the Lustrous, and it will be a 3D show from what I've seen. But there, at times, from rewatching the short PV, at times it looks really 2D. So it's really weird, and I'm really interested to see how they handle this.
Yeah. It's on Netflix. It's gonna be on Netflix, right?
Yeah, it's a Netflix. Yeah.
Yeah. I agree with that. When I was watching the PV, which is like 10 seconds long, it
short.
didn't look super 3D at all. So I'm interested, to see how it. Netflix does a lot of the anime in that 3D style. So I've watched a lot them. I don't know. Some of them are really great. Some of them, you just want to watch
terrible,
something.
and some of them you're like, all right,
that's decent.
Okay.
I'll dig. I'm gonna read the description for the manga that we're reading next week. I am shortening it a lot. But it is, I will give a spoiler that it is one of my favorite series of all time. Okay, Blank is a supernatural slice of life series about a boy who struggles to live a normal life while balancing the blank and blank world and acquiring important life lessons along the way with his cat.
Just knowing that you shortened it quite a bit, I like to think that you just read the first sentence and then you were like, yeah, there's also a cat involved at the end. Anybody got any guesses?
Oh. Yes.
If you know it, say
Type it.
If you know it, put it in chat.
Yeah, you can go ahead and type it. No, it's not fairy tale.
It is not fairy tale. It is also not Battle Angel Alita.
No. Every manga is better. Did you see the movie? Did you see the movie? Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, we actually really enjoyed it.
It was really good. Natsume Yujincho! Yay! Natsume's Book of Friends, aka one of my favorite feel-good series.
Yeah, it's so good.
I love it. I cry like every episode. It's really
I know.
So precious. We are reading volumes 4 through 8, chapters 15 through 31.5. That is what we will be talking about next week. Let's go ahead and shout out our stuff super duper fast. I'm Erin of Happily Erin. I have a YouTube channel. All the previous manga pods are hosted there. I also have done a lot of anime reviews and first impressions and vloggy type stuff. It has been kind of inactive while I work on my book series. I'm much more active over on Twitter. If you want to come follow me on there, I talk about anime and Voltron and lots sorts of things. My baby right now. My 2 babies. I've got 2 now. So double the posts. Yeah. So that's me.
Hi guys, I'm Dodger. You can find me at DexBonus on pretty much everything. I also have a baby that I post about way too often, so if that's your jam, cat stuff goes up sometimes, baby stuff goes up sometimes, and then the rest of it is just, I don't know, either garbage or gold, depending on who you are. So come find out whether or not I'm a garbage or gold type person for you. I also might, if you're watching this live, I think I'm going to do a little Minesweeper stream after this, if you would like to watch us do our Minesweeper challenge that we came up with. So, yep,
Yay!
that's me.
Hello, I'm Moeka, your closeted furry ? You can check me out at Twitter at MegaMoeka or here
Not
on
so closeted anymore.
Yeah, not so closeted anymore, sweats. Or you can check me out here on Twitch. Recently, I've been doing a lot of voice acting gigs, so it's kind of messed up my streaming schedule, but I try to stream as much as possible on Twitch. So check me out there for games.
Awesome. Thank you
yeah.
so much for joining us this week.
Yeah.
We always
Also,
love
for having me.
Send our lovely typical co-host Lou Talks Games, Lou Talks Anime. Send him some love. Hopefully he'll be back with us next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We love him and miss him. Send him all sorts of hearts. Yeah. So he will hopefully be back with us next week. If you would like to find more MangaPod, we have a subreddit, reddit.com/r/MangaPod. The schedule for the upcoming months is there. Is there?
Yes.
Is there? Schedule is there. Gotta figure out the right noun in that sentence. We also have a recommendation thread. If you would like to recommend us a manga that we have not checked out yet, go ahead and post it there. If it's already there, go ahead and upvote it. We will be here same time, same place next week. Well, not the same day, but we'll be back to our normal schedule of Tuesday.
On Tuesday,
7:30 p.m. Pacific time, and we'll be talking about Natsume Eugene Cho chapters 15 through 31.5. Oh, hi, Watson. So thank you all so much for watching us, whether you're watching us on Twitch or on YouTube. Thank you so much, and we will see you guys next week. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.